探索更加有效、更加广泛的区域合作的途径。那么今天上午的这个发言和讨论已经在比较高的层次做了一些探讨。我想今天下午我们各位专家学者对这些问题进行更加深入的研讨。
Ladies and gentlemen, in this afternoon we shall begin our second phase of the discussion. Firstly, I think we can talk about the SARS-CoV-1 mechanisms and seek a way to more effectively promote our cooperation between each other. And I hope our scholars and researchers here can have something to say about it.
那么我很高兴的看到我们今天参加会议的双方的专家学者层次很高，来的可惜我们给我的时间也不多，所以我想呢，我们今天这个参加讨论的发言的专家学者注意时间。
As we have many people coming here today and the time is limited, so I hope we can be terse about our speech and make everything brief. Thank you.
那么首先呢，请孟方和中方两位做发言，每人20分钟。
Now please, the floor goes to the speaker for both sides. Everyone has just 20 seconds.
请各位来发最关键、最出彩的观点与大家分享。
Please show us your most fascinating and most illuminating points to the people sitting here.
为了让我们今天参加会议更多的专家发言呢，我想时间碰到的时候呢，我会提醒。
He will give notice to the person who is going short on time in order to that everyone have a chance to speak here.
那么下面呢，我们有请孟方的这个学者首先发言。
Now the Bangladesh side, please.
Can I have the Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Siraj Islam. I'm going to present the Bangladesh side, the paper from the Bangladesh side for the topic that has been mentioned as SARC+1, Exploring Evidence for Wider Regional Cooperation. I have a paper ready that had circulated to the MIPS operators before. I don't know whether it has been circulated to the members of the two delegations before that. It has not been. Okay, then I can start. Basically, it's a paper, SARC+1 means, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, looking for wider regional cooperation beyond the 8 members of the SARC countries. Basically, it means looking towards China and how to bring in China for a cooperative relation within the forum of the SARC.
南盟加一主要讨论是如何使南盟8成员国与中国加强合作，从而促进区域间的经贸发展。
As you are all aware, SARC is an observer of, China is an observer of SARC since 2005, along with 8 other countries, 7 other countries of the European Union.
从2015年开始，中国与欧盟等国家一同作为观察员加入南盟。
SARC is an association of the countries of South Asia, comprises of 8 nations, and collectively it has a population of 1.5 billion, which is roughly 1/5 of the population of the world.
南盟覆盖区域一共有8个国家，总人口约15亿人，占全球人口的1/5。
Its GDP calculated on PP basis was $4,382.7 million in 2009. That placed it in 3rd position worldwide. With the GDP calculated on the same basis, that was $2,779 in 2009.
在2009年，按购买力 评价指数计算，整个南盟地区的 GDP 总量约为
The figures? The figures are is a GDP which is 4382 million and GDP which is $2,779.
按购买力评价指数计算，整个南盟2009年的 GDP 约为43827亿美元，占在全球位列第3。
Today, SAARC among its members is India, which has emerged in recent times as one of the most powerful economic countries of the world.
孟加印度作为其中最大的国家，已经成为世界经济发展中重要的力量。
All other countries of South Asia have done equally well economically, including Bangladesh, which has for the last few years shown quite good growth in terms of GDP.
包括孟加国在内的南盟其他国家，在过去几年中经济发展也十分迅速。
Yet 25 years down the road, when SAARC was established in 1985, it's about more than 25 years, SAARC still languishes at the bottom among the regional organizations of the world. SAARC still languishes, it's still at the bottom among all the regional organizations of the world.
尽管南盟已经建立25年，但在发展深度上，仍与其他国家间组织相比仍然不高。
Facilitating trade was a prime motive for establishing SAARC, which is one of the objectives, has not really happened. Compared to 55% intra-EU trade and 26% in ASEAN, and expanding in both the regional organizations, intra-trade among the SAARC countries was a dismal 5%.
但问题是，过去几年中，尽管是经过很多努力，但南盟的贸易仍然内部贸易没有取得较大发展。约有55%的南盟贸易是发生在南盟与欧洲，26%为南盟与东盟，而南盟内部贸易额仅占总贸易额的5%。
There are some very good reasons for SAARC to not develop the way it was visioned by the people who thought about SAARC as a regional organization. One of the reasons was the asymmetry among the members of the SAARC, which is not favorable for its growth and development smoothly. India's dominance in certain resources compared to its 6 other neighbors was a distinct disadvantage.
但是南盟也面临一些固有的一些难题，比如内部发展不平衡，尤其是印度一家独大，在其所占有的地域以及资源远远超过周围其他国家。
Another point, India has not used its size and dominance in a positive manner. In fact, prior to the formation of SAARC and continuing to, India had problems with all its India had problems and it still has problems with all its neighbors.
此外，印度没有良好的使用其所处于的位置。印度与周围所有国家都存在一些大大小小的问题。
Another problem has been the problem between India and Pakistan. This has stood in the growth of SAARC as a formidable regional organization. This has cast a shadow over SAARC from which it has never emerged completely, and still the problem continues.
其中问题第一便是印巴关系紧张，使南盟合作面临许多困难。
Another problem that has complicated, the growth of SAARC further is that in between, India and Pakistan have both become nuclear. Their enmity and the problems have become more complex in nature.
此外，印巴两国目前都拥有核武器，对地区和平造成了很大的影响。
India's relations with all its neighbors is also not a happy one. It has many outstanding problems, unresolved problems with Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka. Instead of acknowledging the problems lie with it, India has consistently laid blame on its neighbors for the poor state of bilateral relations with its neighbors. Bangladesh's recent experience with India is a case in point.
此外，印度与周围其他国家关系也不好，其中包括像尼泊尔、斯里兰卡以及孟加拉国。印度不但没有承认国家之间存在问题，反倒一意孤行，继续制造矛盾。
Upon coming to office in January 2009, our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina unilaterally gave India total commitment on security and offered it land transit.
2000年孟加拉国新政府上台之后，孟加拉国总理向印度承诺提供安全保障和过境通道。
In response, India has failed to sign the TISTA agreement and has gone ahead with the T5 move, while it continues to kill innocent Bangladeshis on the border.
然而，印度却始终拒绝与孟加拉国签署提斯塔和分水协议以及提派木，并且在孟加拉国上游建设提派木和大坝，给孟加拉国造成了巨大的困难。
India that had originally opposed SAARC, fearing it would be a forum for its neighbors to tackle it in a multilateral forum where they failed to do so bilaterally, still has not changed its mindset.
印度一直以来对南盟持反对意见，因为印度害怕周围国家联合起来，通过多边途径解决与印度存在的双边问题。
It still sees many positive moves within SAARC for regional cooperation as a conspiracy against it.
因此，印度在很多时候将南盟内部一些发展努力视作对印度视作颠覆印度的一些阴谋。
It is not that SAARC has not achieved much. On core issues, namely economic cooperation, cooperation in social fields, cooperation in poverty alleviation, cooperation in other areas of mutual advantage, SAARC has made quite good progress.
但南盟并未因此而一点没有取得进展。在一些核心问题，比如经济发展、合作、社会领域以及扶贫等方面，都取得了一些进展。
Unfortunately, such achievements is keeping SAARC just floating, and it's not really moving ahead.
但不幸的是，这些进展仅仅是使南盟继续保持存在，但却没有向前取得更大的进展。
One author on SAARC, writing before the SAARC summit in Bhutan in 2010, had written, quote, "There's hardly anything that inspires confidence in this largely moribund organization as it celebrates 25th years of its anniversary."
一名记者一名作家在2010年曾经写过，在南盟南盟步入第25年之际，仍然没有任何各国之间仍然没有自信如何解决目前这一地区所面临的困境。
A move was made by the smaller countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, and Pakistan to bring countries in the region, in particular China, to help invigorate the organization.
目前，尼泊尔、孟加拉国、巴基斯坦等国家正试图使其他国家加入这一区域，其中尤其是中国，借此来对南盟注入更多的活力。
The move was immediately opposed by India, thinking this was a move against it.
然而，印度却对此持反对态度，认为这是反印的一种表现。
Only when member states agreed to bring other countries such as Australia, Japan, the US, and EU did India relent to China's admission as an observer.
直到其他南盟会员国同意将澳大利亚、日本、美国、欧盟等国家同样作为成员国引入之后，印度才同意了中国的成员国身份。
For bringing China, in response to the request of the smaller countries, India bargained full membership for Afghanistan.
除此之外，印度却一直为阿富汗争取全面会员国地位。
Thereafter, after Chinese entry, there is a moratorium now on accepting any more observers within SAARC. There's a moratorium. We cannot have any more observers within the SAARC forum after China's admission.
但问题是，目前我们一直无法让更多的国家加入南盟。
Nevertheless, thinkers of SAARC and the smaller members in particular look forward to the organization look toward China for their development.
目前很多南盟政治家认为应该让中国来加入，成为南盟的一份子，从而促进南盟的发展。
Meanwhile, China has shown and continues to show great interest in more meaningful relationship with SAARC. It wants more relationship than the current observer status given to it.
而中国同样也对加入南盟展示了很多兴趣，而且中国也不想仅仅作为一个观察员在南盟内活动。
In fact, China wants to become a dialogue partner of SAARC, modeled after its relationship with ASEAN.
实际上，中国希望成为南盟的发展伙伴，甚至使中国和南盟关系超越于中国与东盟的关系。
This relationship with China is called China Plus One, and this SAARC Plus One, and this is now the great thought, the great debate going on within SAARC, how to interact, how to bring China together in a sort of forum modeled after ASEAN Plus One, to bring China into the forum of SAARC.
而因此这一想法最终变成为南盟加一这一平台。目前在南盟内部已引起了许多的争论，是如何使中国加入南盟，并促进中国与南盟的发展。
China made this intention very clear during the last SAARC summit in Mali. The Chinese delegation led by the Vice Foreign Minister made on the sidelines all the delegations to the SAARC summit bilaterally.
而中国在近期结束的在巴塞举行的南盟峰会上表示，中国希望能够积极加入南盟，并参与南盟合作。
To make its intention very clear, the Chinese delegation to the SAARC summit in Mali in last year committed a fund of $300,000 to the SAARC Development Fund for the year 2012.
为此，中国还向南盟发展基金提供了$30万的援助。
The advantages of SAARC Plus One would be tremendous. It would bring into the forum the cooperation of two of the major world economic powers, namely India and China.
南盟加一会有许多能够取得许多积极的进展，因为它使中国与印度两个世界最大的发展中经济体能够合作起来。
Such a framework of cooperation would no doubt attract world attention in a major way upon SAARC. That does not seem to be the case at the moment.
而且南盟加一还能够使这一区域面临更巨大的发展，而此前的南盟机制还无法达到这一成果。
The other advantages of SAARC Plus One, in other words, SAARC Plus China, would be number one, China's inclusion would make the rest of the world. Just a moment. Sorry. China's inclusion would, this keeps on shifting. Sorry, just give me 1 second. China's inclusion would make the rest of the world take note of it in the same way as it takes note into consideration within organizations such as EU or NAFTA.
中国加入南盟还有一些其他的优势，比如中国加入之后可以使南盟区域合作与欧盟以及北美自由贸易区相匹敌。
Though China is not a part of South Asia, geographically it is connected with 4 SAARC countries, namely India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nepal, and not far from Bangladesh.
尽管中国不是南亚的成员，但地理上中国与4个南盟成员国接壤，印度、巴基斯坦、阿富汗、尼泊尔。
Statistically, if China joins SAARC, the impact would be mind-boggling. SAARC plus China would make the organization one comprising of 2.84 billion people, or 40% of the world population, with a GDP and per capita income of $10.1 trillion and $7,600 respectively on PPP.
如果中国加入南盟，其作用将是十分巨大的，使得南盟能够覆盖约28亿人口，约40%的全球人口，并且在 GDP 方面能够达到10万亿美元。
The future projection of China in world economy, together with the future projection of India, is just too impressive. And with China in the fold of SAARC, the reinforced regional organization would easily emerge as the world #1 regional bloc.
此外，中国加入后也能够使中印两国加强合作，从而使这个地区成为全球最大的区域联盟。
Although China is not yet a member of SAARC, is present in the region in bilateral trade with member countries. China-India bilateral trade has grown from 3 billion in 2001-2002 to $62 billion in 2010 and expected to reach 100 billion by 2015.
尽管中国不是南盟成员国，但中盟两国的贸易在2001年至2002年仅有30亿美元，到2010年时已经达到620亿美元，而且据估计到2015年将达到1000亿美元。
China, Pakistan, China, Bangladesh trade figures are also impressive and expanding and growing.
此外，中国、巴基斯坦以及中国、孟加拉国的贸易也在迅速增长。
China's inclusion in SAARC in a cooperative relation could expand the organization's current unimpressive figure of $16 billion to inter-region trade of $75 billion.
中国加入南盟后，还会大大促进南盟区域内贸易，从现在的160亿美元增长到750亿美元。
Therefore, the strength of China that China would invariably bring to SAARC if it becomes a member of the organization is undeniable. Nevertheless, the strongest argument why China cannot be, there's another argument to make China a member. Instead of giving it, the relationship under China plus one, there's also a sort of movement within SAARC to make China a full member.
因此，毫无疑问，中国加入南盟对南盟整个地区的益处是十分明显的。因此，南盟现在内部有一种呼声，希望推动中国成为南盟的完全成员国。
China cannot be invited to become a full member because it is not a part of the region. It is a part of Far East or East Asia.
中国无法成为南盟成员国的原因之一是中国不是南亚的一部分，而是东亚的一部分。
Culturally, too, China cannot make a claim for membership in SAARC because it is different from the rest of the member countries of SAARC, who share common history and many other aspects that bring the region together.
此外，中国在与南亚的历史与文化也有许多不同，使其成为中国加入南盟的另一个困难障碍。
The greatest hindrance towards China's membership is, of course, the Sino-Indian rivalry.
最大的困难是仍然是中国与印度之间的敌对，致使中国无法加入。
With experience of the negative impact of Indo-Pakistan conflict on SAARC, a Sino-Indian conflict in SAARC, in the event of China becoming a full member, could negate all the bright possibilities and trade and other spheres.
从目前印巴之间的紧张情况便可得知，如果中国加入南盟之后，中印之间的紧张也会制造出不小的麻烦。
In fact, as a new member can be accepted in SAARC only by consensus of all the members, the possibility of China becoming a full member of SAARC would be still borne on Indian objection that has already been made informally.
因此，中国如想成为南盟的完全成员国，必须要得到所有南盟成员国的认可，而其中最重要的便是得到印度方面的支持，而目前尚无这种支持。
Hence, there is no prospect at the moment of China becoming a member of SAARC.
因此，目前中国还无法成为南盟的一份子。
Nevertheless, temptation of bringing China into SAARC is too great. China itself is aware of the opposition of India and also the fact that it is not a part of South Asia to have a claim to its membership.
但中国一直在努力加入南盟，中国意识到印度的反对。
Nevertheless, China has a strong interest in South Asia for a variety of reasons, and on a bilateral basis has very strong trade and other relationship with all the member countries of South Asia.
中国与包括印度在内的所有南盟国家都有十分都保持了很好的双边关系，而且经贸也在不断进行发展。
At present, China is an observer of SAARC, a relationship that neither encourages it to play a role in SAARC as it wants, nor can it help in making the organization grow.
目前中国作为南盟的观察员，尚没有能力推动南盟向前发展，并且与南盟加强合作。
It is therefore from this perspective that the SAARC should strongly look into the prospects of bringing China into the organization under the concept of SAARC plus one.
由此看来，南盟应该努力推动中国加入南盟，或者是形成南盟加一的机制。
A look at China as ASEAN plus one would give us an idea how to bring China into the organization under the concept of SAARC plus one. A look at ASEAN plus one, which means ASEAN plus China, and the format of that relationship would give us in SAARC an idea how to bring China into the organization under the concept of SARC+1.
中盟，我们可以从东盟加一的机制中去了解如何实现南盟加一的机制。
China was accorded observer status in ASEAN in 1991.
中国在1991年正式成为东盟的观察员。
As a dialogue partner, China and ASEAN hold annual summit to strengthen and broaden cooperation.
中国作为东盟的重要发展伙伴，一直以来通过峰会等形式加强合作。
In 2003 ASEAN-China Summit, a joint declaration for peace and prosperity was signed.
在2003年，中国南盟和平繁荣协议最终签署。
Under this, a 5-year plan of action from 2005 to 2010 was adopted and completed.
随后形成了一个2015至2010年中国南盟合作发展5年规划。
At the 2010 summit, a new plan of action was adopted for the period 2011 to 2015.
在2010年中国东盟峰会上，且再次形成了2011至2015合作计划。
China-ASEAN cooperation extends into 11 areas of cooperation. These are agriculture, information and communication, technology, human resources development, Mekong Basin development, investment, energy, transport, culture, public health, tourism and environment.
中国南盟合作目前已拓展到技术、人力资源、信息等11个领域。
To realize cooperation in these 11 areas, ASEAN cooperates with China under the broad heads of political and security cooperation, economic cooperation and socio-cultural cooperation.
除了这11个领域之外，中国与东盟还加强了在政治安全、经济合作以及社会文化领域的合作。
The implementation mechanism for realizing this cooperation are A. Annual Summit, B. ASEAN-China Ministerial Meeting, C. ASEAN-China Senior Officials Consultations.
为促进中国东盟合作，双方制定了3个平台。第一个是年度峰会，第二个是东盟中国部长级会议，第三个是中国东盟高官磋商。
Another 5 minutes, give me another 2 or 3 minutes. I'm just finishing. The impact of this cooperation under ASEAN+1 has been tremendous. It has brought the two into close and cooperative relationship from which both China and ASEAN have benefited tremendously, especially in the area of trade.
中国与东盟的合作极大促进了区域的经济发展，使中国与东盟两双方关系更加紧密。
So we in SARC should look upon ASEAN+1 as the format under which to bring China into cooperative relationship with SARC.
因此，南盟国家应将中国东盟合作作为一个样板，从中学习如何推动中国与南盟的合作。
Despite all our wishes and intention, again, the reason why SARC has already emerged as a formidable regional organization, could again stand in the way of bringing China into a cooperative relationship of wider regional cooperation under the concept of SARC+1. The same problem that has stood in the way of making SARC a successful regional organization will again stand in the way of bringing China into cooperative relationship with SARC.
从这个上面来看，中国在加入南盟方面所面临的问题，可能也会出现在中国与东盟发展的关系中。
That problem lies with India. What India thinks and does will ultimately determine whether SARC can succeed in building a sort of relationship with China as ASEAN has built with China.
而最重要的问题便是印度是否会支持中国加入南盟，在很大程度上决定了中国能否与南盟加强合作。
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That is all I have to say. Thank you.
这个感谢我们李先生对南盟的现状、存在的问题，以及中国如何来参与南盟的合作做了积极的评价。看得出来，我们这位教授呢是这个发言很有深度。
Thank you for your speech. You have made a very in-depth research on the current situation of SAARC, and also on the issues of how China could cooperate with Southeast, with SAARC, and which we can see that you have made a lot of research on this issue.
然后我们也可以从他的发言中得到许多信息。
And also from your speech, we got many information from this.
再次感谢。
Thank you, Jim.
下面呢，有请我们中方的代表，由盐业研究员发言。这个请注意，这个发言的时间是2分钟，但是其实只有10分钟，我们还讲10分钟的发言。
Now we have the Chinese delegate for the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad to have this opportunity to meet many friends of Bangladesh, including new friends and
今天我要说的呢是这个此次会议议题非常好把这个8+1的话题提到一个重要的议事日。
I would like to say that our discussion today is very impressive, which has brought the 8+1 mechanism to a new height.
这个中国云南省和这个孟加拉国合作，这个YDRC 和这个 BIPS 这个对话会议第2次应该说有一个非常好的基础。
The cooperation between Bangladesh and Yunnan province, and also the cooperation between the think tanks of BIPSS and the Yunnan research organizations have a good foundation.
此次会议的议题更加深入。
And we have more deeper discussion in this meeting.
我们深化合作，主要背景有下面几个方面。
And as the picture shows, we have following areas which gives us the opportunity to deepen our cooperation.
首先呢，21世纪是中国和印度洋世纪。
First, the 21st century is China and the Indian Ocean century.
就在前2个星期，云南省财经大学成立了一个印度洋地区研究中心。
Just 2 weeks ago, the Yunnan University of Economics has established a new Indian Ocean Research Institute.
研究的是亚洲的崛起，中国和印度洋地区的发展。
This institute focuses on the rise of Asia and China's cooperation with Indian Ocean.
有人说，21世纪是中国和印度洋的世纪。那么，基于历史的发展，我们历史发展走过了大西洋时代、太平洋时代，将要走进印度洋时代。
Some say the 21st century is the century of China and Indian Ocean. As the time goes by, we have experienced the century of Atlantic Ocean, the century of Pacific Ocean. Now is the time for the century of Indian Ocean.
今天早上，伊斯兰先生也提到了印度洋的发展。
This morning, Mr. Islam also talked about the development of Indian Ocean.
我个人认为，这个提法有一定的意义。
Personally, I think his view is very important on this issue.
印度洋沿岸共33个国家，陆地面积2120多万平方公里，人口数量按照 2006年的数据是23.4亿，GDP 的总量呢达到了这个4.7万亿美元，当时中国是2.6万亿美元。
The regions around the Indian Ocean has 33 countries, which covers about 21 million square kilometers. The population is about 2.45 billion. The GDP is $6 trillion.
到2010年又有了极大的发展 ，GDP 和人口。2010年，人口和 GDP 都有了重大的发展。
By the year 2010, there has also substantial development in this region.
印度洋地区国家和中国加起来有很多的人口和很大的经济总量。
The Indian region plus China, which can create a very huge population and huge economic basis.
未来发展有重要的前景
，which indicates that there is huge potential for this region.
那么，当我们关注这个地区发展的时候，我们不仅要关注大国的发展，还要关注发展中国家的发展，包括孟加拉国的发展。
When we focus on development of this region, we should not only take consideration of the development of major countries like China and India, but also the development of small countries like Bangladesh. 第二个方面要说的呢是中国向南亚发展是开放的历史的必然。 The second is China's opening to Southeast Asia is the historical necessity.
中国的发展需要向这个印度洋区域发展，向印度洋地区开放，同时呢，向南亚地区的开放也是非常必要的。
China's development demands that China should open to the Indian Ocean and the countries in South Asia.
第三个方面呢，要说的是推动国际区域合作是中孟合作的重要领域。
The third one is promoting international and regional cooperation is an important part of China-Bangladesh cooperation.
云南省的发展和开放既有重要的这个作用，对于中国的开放来说。
The development of Yunnan province has a very significant meaning on China's development and opening up to the South Asia.
云南在中国向西南开放过程当中具有重要的区位优势。
Yunnan province has a geographical advantage in its opening up to the southwest regions of the continent.
要发挥这个优势，必须走区域合作的道路。
To take advantages of these traits, we have to resort to the cooperation for this region.
这个方面要说的是，走出经济危机的阴影是我们和孟加拉国同时面临的目标。
It is our common goal for Bangladesh and China to get out of the shadow of the economic crisis.
这个经济危机对世界影响是普遍的，也包括对孟加拉国的影响。早期，经济危机早期，有人说对孟加拉国的影响是非常小，但后期的发展呢是不可小视的。后期的发展对孟加拉国发展的影响是不可小视。
The economic crisis has an indiscriminate impact on all countries. Some people say when the economic crisis first started, Bangladesh was not very much affected. But now we can see that Bangladesh has become part of the world economy and has suffered from the impact of economic crisis.
中孟两国都同时面临着经济发展减速、汇率问题、物价问题， 也就是通胀的问题以及资金的问题等一系列影响发展的因素。
Both countries face some face some similar challenges like the inflation, the fund, and environment.
2010年，云南的 GDP 总量达到了7220亿美元，7220亿美元，也是人民币7220亿人民币 ，sorry。
By the year 2011, the GDP of Yunnan province has reached 722 billion Chinese yuan.
2011年的发展，人均 GDP 可以接近3000美元。
Our goal, the per capita GDP in 2011 can reach $30,000.
在国际贸易方面，2010年我们和东南亚国家的贸易达到了45.8亿美元。
Our trade between Yunnan province and ASEAN countries has reached $4.58 billion.
我们对南亚国家的贸易达到了9.3亿美元。
Our trade between Yunnan province and South Asia countries has reached $913 million.
2011年，从1月到11月，我们对孟加拉国的贸易达到了1.4亿美元。
In the year 2011, from January to November, our trade between Bangladesh and Yunnan province has reached $140 million.
中国和孟加拉国之间，云南省和孟加拉国之间的合作具有重大的潜力和互补性。
The cooperation between Yunnan province and Bangladesh has a lot of can complementary each other and have a lot of potential.
这一个方面是加快推动国际区域合作的条件逐步成熟。
The basic conditions for international and regional cooperation have been materialized.
国际区域合作的基本条件，国际区域合作的基本条件有几个方面。
The basic conditions for international and regional cooperation include the following areas.
包括气物优势和交通条件等等。
Which they are the geographic location and the conditions for the transportation.
其中重要的方面就是各方有支持参与国际区域合作的意愿和行动。
The very important part is that both sides have been willing to promote the regional cooperation.
再一个方面是各方愿意并且能够做出相互让步和妥协。
And another important point is that both sides are willing and will make consensus and compromise with each other.
这个方面是讲中国周边相关地区国际区域合作的基本格局。
And next is the basic patterns of international and regional cooperation around China.
中国周边地区相关的国际区域合作有多种合作机制。
There are many mechanisms for regional cooperation around China.
再一个就是促进8+1的合作是一条有效的共同发展的途径。
Next, the promoting SARC+1 is an effective way to promote our cooperation.
中国中央政府今年国务院发出了11号文件，大家在网络上可以看到，把云南建成向西藏开放的桥头堡。我个人认为，也类似于我们孟加拉国向东看的政策。同时呢，中国的桥头堡的建设是一个促进区域发展和对外开放的政策，有2重意义。
The central government of China has decided that We should build the Yunnan province as a bridgehead for China's development to the southwest of the continent.
云南省将在兄弟省区和中央政府的支持下，加快自己的发展，同时面向西南开放。
Yunnan province will further promote its development and promote its development toward the southwest.
这个方面呢，这个云南省对外开放，过去20年迈出了2大步。
The Yunnan province has made 2 major steps in the past decades in its opening up.
在90年代，上个世纪90年代，着重向东南亚开放取得了成绩。
In the 1990s, the Yunnan province has made great progress in its opening up to Southeast Asia.
建立了 GMS 合作机制，
And created the GMS cooperation mechanism.
同时呢，建立了云南省和越南北部、云南省和老挝北部、云南省和泰国北部的这个小区域合作机制。
And also created the cooperation mechanism for small enterprises in the northern part of Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand.
我们也在促进和缅甸建立中缅卤水联运通道。
And we are also planning to negotiate with Myanmar to create a channel for transportation between China and Myanmar.
面向南亚的国家的开放，我们主要推动了3个论坛。
In order to push forward the cooperation with
对，面向南亚。
Southeast countries, we have planned to make 3 cooperation forums.
一个是梦中一美第7经济合作论坛，第2个是 K2K 合作论坛，第3个是中国南亚商务论坛。中国南亚商务论坛。
The first one is PCN forum. The second is K2K forum, and third one is China South Asia Business Forum.
K2K means Yunnan and West Bengal cooperation. 那么我们2年前建立了和这个BIPS 的这个对话机制。
2 years ago, we established our cooperation mechanism with BIPS.
这个是我们在本世纪头10年当中主要推动的一些合作机制。
This is one of the cooperation mechanism we are pushing forward in the first decade of this century.
和云南省这个和中国相关的一些合作机制，我们从这个图上可以看到，这个中国呢，在东亚、东北亚有一个合作机制，包括这个蒙古、朝鲜、韩国、日本、俄罗斯。
We can see from this chart that China has a cooperation with countries in the northeast, like Mongolia, North Korea, and Japan.
还有一个是中国和东盟的合作机制。
Another one is China's cooperation with ASEAN.
中国和这个中日韩的合作机制。
China's cooperation with Japan and Korea.
这个我们看到印度有这个印孟斯缅泰的这个合作机制。
Then we can see that India has a cooperation mechanism of business tech.
还有一个是印度和这个东南亚的合作机制。
Another one is ASEAN plus India.
在这些合作机制当中，我们所找到的交集就是梦中一缅合作机制、合作论坛。
Among these, we have find a overlapping area that is the BCIM forum.
既可以结合这个东盟、南盟，同时也可以和这个东亚国家结合起来。
We can see this. We can not only push forward